Hello, it's October 12th, 2019. Let's go ahead and read Proverbs 12. Let's try and inspire ourselves into more wisdom. To learn, you must love discipline. It is stupid to hate correction. The Lord approves of those who are good, but he condemns those who plan wickedness. Wickedness never brings stability, but the godly have deep roots. A worthy wife is a crown for her husband, but a disgraceful woman is like cancer in his bones. The plans of the godly are just. The advice of the wicked is treacherous. The words of the wicked are like a murderous ambush, but the words of the godly saves lives. The wicked die and disappear, but the family of the godly stand firm. A sensible person wins admiration, but a warped mind is despised. Better to be an ordinary person with a servant than to be self-important but have no food. The godly care for their animals, but the wicked are always cruel. A hard worker has plenty of food, but a person who chases fantasies has no sense. Thieves are jealous of each other's loot, but the godly are well rooted and bear their own fruit. The wicked are trapped by their own words, but the godly escape such trouble. Wise words bring many benefits, and hard work brings rewards. Fools think their own way is right, but the wise listen to others. A fool is quick-tempered, but a wise person stays calm when insulted. An honest witness tells the truth. A false witness tells lies. Some people make cutting remarks, but the words of the wise bring healing. Truthful words stand the test of time, but lies are soon exposed. Deceit fills the heart that are plotting evil. Joy fills hearts that are planning peace. No harm comes to the godly, but the wicked have their fill of trouble. The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in those who tell the truth. The wise don't make a show of their knowledge, but fools broadcast their foolishness. Work hard and become a leader. Be lazy and become a slave. Worry weighs a person down. An encouraging word cheers a person up. The godly give good advice to their friends. The wicked lead them astray. Lazy people don't even cook the game they catch, but the diligent make use of everything they find. The way of the godly leads to life. That path does not lead to death. So to me, this chapter speaks of hard work and discipline. God could change things in an instant, of course. Yet, if you were a father, who would you want to bless? If you had two children, two sons, two daughters, the son or daughter that was lazy, that didn't try at school, or that didn't, help out around the house, or the child that, did the dishes every now and again, did their homework, brought home good grades, made you feel at peace with the child's future. So, if you want to bless as a human, you would want to bless that child that's working hard, that's being diligent. How much more would God want to bless us, his children, that are also working hard and being diligent? I really like how this chapter begins in that towards that message. To learn, you must love discipline. It is stupid to hate correction. In this first verse, it's guiding you towards that hard work and discipline that'll take you towards your blessing. That'll take you towards your goal or whatever it is that you want to do in life. To learn any craft, any subject, you gotta be willing to make mistakes, and be willing to accept the criticism or the discipline or the corrections that the people that are willing to teach you give you. We're gonna fall down and eat it so many times, but it's all about getting back up on that horse. I found this interesting just now. Reading verse 5, I thought it was like, kind of an aside, um, a tangent in this message. However, in that of working hard and being diligent, um, verse 5 definitely points us in the right direction of who we want to be working with. Because it says, the plans of the godly are just, the advice of the wicked is treacherous. Verse 9 is another great example of working hard. And in fact, I have two examples on that are related to verse 9. So it says, better to be an ordinary person with a servant than to be self-important but have no food. So obviously, the ordinary person with a servant is the diligent hard worker. The example that I have on that is a family that I've known since I've been in third grade, or since I was in third grade. I'm not there still. And they have a person, a woman, that still to this day works at that house and has a lot of cariño, a lot cares for the kids. Well, they're adults now, Um, but the point is that um, this family was well off. Okay, yeah, but through their hard work, and trusting God, definitely a lot of faith in that family. Um, but not only does that provide uh, aid to the household, but that family just made a job for somebody else. You know, they're a blessing to other people. You know, it's a blessing to be able to work, and it should be seen as such. Um, However, I also know a man that is self-important, really smart, has two bachelor degrees, and because he's too smart for his own good, he thinks that he should already be above the level that he's at. And unfortunately, he hasn't been able to keep a job for more than a month. In the past year, I think he's been through 7 jobs with 2 bachelor degrees, and the guy is super smart. Um, but I know that he considers himself to be more important than what any of us are in any job. Um, Verse 10 also paints a nice little picture of hard work, because the godly care for their animals, but the wicked are always cruel. Now, if you have a pet, even, that's work. You have to care for the pet. You have to make sure that you balance the budget so that food goes to the pet, that, the vet is not cheap. Um, and yet, I initially thought of back in the day, or today, farms, cattle and the livestock and the ox that were used to plow the land. Um, if you want to be able to work your land and be able to produce milk, butter, um, all these things that come from animal resources, you had to be kind to them. You had to keep them alive at the very least. Um, happy cows make good cheese, something like that. But yeah, like if you're good to your animals, to be good to your animals, it takes work. It takes care, discipline, um, being there, time, effort. Um, and if you're not paying attention to them, if you're not tending to them, that is cruel. Like, what kind of dog left in a cage all day will that make? You know, that's animal cruelty. 11. A hard worker has plenty of food, but a person who chases fantasies has no sense. Enough said there. Now I'm going to share verse 14, and I invite you to just uh, trust it as truth, because I have no words of wisdom uh, to try and explain this, but I think it's very much noteworthy. It reads, "Wise words bring many benefits, and hard work brings rewards." Simple enough, right? Now, verse 16 is interesting, and it could help you identify a fool or a wise person. A fool is quick tempered, but a wise person stays calm when insulted. Um, I want to say that that's because the fool, the one that has little knowledge, is easily offended. Lack of perspective, lack of understanding. Um, a lot of times, these people tend to think that it's a personal attack. However, the wise person stays calm when being insulted, because they realize that it's the other person's issue. Whatever it is that you may insult me with, I have to try and understand that you're entitled to your opinion, and you're entitled to your perspective. Maybe you don't like how I'm presenting an issue or what I'm saying, period, because of your understanding. However, that's your understanding, that's your perspective. Same holds true for me. We're subjected to our life experiences. We're definitely dependent on what we've learned so far of this life to be able to interpret this life and our surroundings. So don't be offended if somebody insults you. Just understand that that's how they see it, and they're entitled to their opinion. And if you are open to what they're saying, the message, then maybe you can be corrected, maybe you learn something new, or maybe you just have to stand firm to what you've said, to what you believe, and accept that it's their problem. Now, verse 19 is another verse that I don't have to expand too much upon. Truthful words stand the test of time, but lies are soon exposed. The truth always comes out. Dale tiempo al tiempo, as we say in Spanish. Just give it time. Verse 23, I'd like to read it out loud because it says, "The wise don't make a show of their knowledge, but fools broadcast their foolishness." Maybe I'm declaring myself a fool with this whole channel, even. But I'm open to correction, so please, I invite you to help me grow. And to close it off, I'd like to go with verse 27 as the second to last verse. It says, "Lazy people don't even cook the game they catch, but the diligent make use of everything they find." So lazy people, I think, actually end up working more, or at least harder, or not as smart, because if they've caught game, if they've caught an animal to be able to cook it, but they don't even cook it, they're just wasting food. But the diligent make use of everything they find. So, um, if you know who MacGyver is, then you know who a diligent person is, or a type of diligent person. If you don't know who MacGyver is, Google it. No, pretty much he could make anything out of everything, or everything out of anything. Make a way to open a wall with a toothpick, a knife, a rubber band, and a paperclip. A brick wall. So, pretty much, you start growing in knowledge. You start being able to combine things that wouldn't typically be able to be combined. Just because you have that broader perspective, in my opinion. Thank you. Many blessings. Hope you have a good day.